All right. Welcome to the live call, live on YouTube, live on Instagram. Welcome. Good morning and good night to the people in North America.
All right.
Welcome
Can you hear
to
my voice
the
on
live
too?
call,
Very nice.
live. It's working. All right, we're live. Very nice. So today we're going to be talking about, as always, my books, and today a little bit of a different thing. We got a book here that I bought from a very popular photographer that is based in Japan. And Afro Broad, long time no see, welcome. Very popular photographer. This is not him, but Erwin Wong, as you can see right there. Erwin Wong. Yeah, I think he's based in Tokyo, but produces a lot of different types of books. This is one of them, all about subcultures in Japan. I find it very interesting. Talk a little bit about this as well as some of the books I got here. We got Hisashiburi. Alright, so actually tell us about I think Takeshi? What was Cortez? What's good? I think your name is Takeshi, right? So I'll tell you a quick story. I met this guy at the airport. I was in Toronto. I was where was I coming from? I don't even remember where I was coming from. But I met this guy back in a couple years back, black guy. I say, what's up? We're talking. Takuya, thank you, Takuya. Yes. So we're talking, and he's from New York, but he's part Japanese. That's why his name is Takuya. And I was like, I was kind of confused. I was like, wait, I don't see any Asian in you. But I think he has, what is it, a quarter or like a 16th or a little bit. Anyway, I think he's Nigerian, but grew up in New York. We met in Toronto. He was going over to visit family, Japanese family, and spend some time in Osaka. We rode the same plane. And on the plane, we met. Okay, so he says, mom's black, dad is half. Yeah, so you're a quarter, right? But just it was fun. It was fun talking to him, getting to know him. And on the plane, we met a guy from Singapore. And dude was just as surprised as I was, like, what? You're Japanese? What's going on? Anyway, Takuya is, I guess, Takuya, are you back in New York? When is the next time you're going to visit Japan? Just goes to show you can't tell based on appearance. I'm doing this because I'm live on YouTube as well. You cannot judge people based on their appearance. You don't know what they got mixed in there. But yeah, here talking about books and different subcultures. I'm actually curious, Takuya, when you think of otaku, what do you think of? What is the first subculture? Anybody else in the chat? What do you guys think of when you think of Japanese otaku? And if you don't know what otaku is, it's like somebody that's obsessed or very passionate about something. That's why this book is called Obsessed. Actually, I'm going to read what he defines otaku as. I'm curious. Here we go. Alright, so okay, it says the word otaku literally means your home, and is used in some settings as a second person pronoun in Japan early 1980s, however, began to be associated with the perceived excesses and perversions of people with obsessive interest. Terms such as fan or maniac were already in circulation, but otaku was meant to refer to something different, something strange, weird, wrong, and or abnormal about certain fans and maniacs. Yeah, so it's just somebody that is super passionate about something. Takia says, I just left Canada going to China soon, but in Florida, I'm not into otaku, but I love kansai. Yeah, wait, so, just one day. Leaving Canada, going to China. Why are you going to China? And you're in Florida, so I'm from Florida. I don't know if Cortez is still in here, but went to university with a dude based in Florida. He's not from Florida. Actually, Cortez, if you're still in here, what was the exact state you were born in? But yeah, I consider him a very, very strong friend. Okay, Cortez. Very, very good friend of mine. We had a lot of adventures back in UCF in Orlando. And he's finally planning to come to Japan in November with his girl. Oh, Alabama, yes. Cortez is from Alabama. Alabama. Yeah. But yeah, he's coming out to Japan November. We're gonna have a ball. I'm gonna show him around. Cortez, what is one food you want to eat while you're here? Okay, so Cortez, your girl's here too. Very nice. What's up, Jackie? How are you? Takia says siblings are half Chinese. This is insane. What is going on? Takia. Acha, Takia, what is your African background? Let me this girl back here. Alright, so your mom. Where is your mom from? As I remember, I think you said Nigeria. But yeah, let me know. Siblings are half Chinese. Crazy. So I have some of my let me see how I'm gonna explain. My dad is half Chinese, but born in Jamaica, just like my mom. And has no affiliation with China in his head, but looks more Asian than black. And so I'm quarter, and you probably can tell I'm part Asian, you know, but Takia, when I met Takia, I was like, what? And so he says, we are all over, and I don't even know my African side. I spent so much time in Asia. Yeah, he probably... So Takia, do you feel more Asian than black? This is perfect conversation. What is in your head, your identity? More Asian than black? What do you feel? I also have Korean and Spanish, but you have amazing memory. I'm shocked. Yeah, I mean, how could I forget? It was impactful, man. I'm like trying to fly back to Japan. I'm like, I gotta get my corona test in Toronto, and then, another black guy. Cortez, we want to eat everything. What do you recommend? That's the worst. That is the worst. I want to eat everything. I want to go everywhere. Give me something specific, man. Noodles, fish, something fried. I need a little bit more niche. Yeah. Actually, let me see if there's any food things in this otaku book. Yeah, look, you can see all the different types of obsessions here in Japan. Quite insane how many different subcultures there are here. Let me see here. Let me show you some pictures as this one's here. Okay, perfect, because we're talking about black people. Yeah, this is a subculture called Gyaru. Gyaru is basically, look at them, they're spray painting hands on themselves, as well as all the different types of hair accessories, contacts, all of that. And a lot of that is based off of what I would assume to be Black American culture. But let me see what they actually write about it. And I got some, Takia says, I only realize I'm Black in America. No one cares that I'm colored in Asia. Interesting. Races only cared about in America. Yeah, it's pretty, actually, this is actually perfect. So, Cortez, what is your, Cortez says fish. I'll give you a recommendation, but real quick, with Jackie in the room, this is perfect. What countries have you been to outside of America, Cortez? And do you agree with Takuya? Do you feel very conscious of being Black only in America? I can speak on, in Asia, to a certain degree, Takuya, I would agree with you that it's more about like, in Asia, they're more, oh, I never met a Black person before type of stuff. But I do still think there's like racism and stuff in Asia, but it's not as visceral. It's not like inbred in them. It's, I don't even know how to address that. It's xenophobia, maybe. Whereas when you're in the US, it can get a little bit dangerous. Taki says, I have German friends with Black children. Their lives are awesome. In the professional world, being Black in Asia is tough. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it does vary. Cortez says, I think the context is different, similar to experience in Asia and Mexico. I think it was more of a curiosity thing. Yeah, but I mean, overall, my experience being Black in Asia is... Actually, I did an interview called... on a YouTube channel called Black in Japan. The guy that runs that channel, his name is Ranzo. He's actually from Japan. No, he's actually from Jamaica. Yeah, I did that back in 2018. He interviewed me. And yeah, you can watch it on YouTube. I talk about my experiences in Japan being Black. But yeah, like Cortez says, more curiosity. And yes, how do women touch my hair without asking? She seemed genuinely curious. Yes! I speak about that in the interview as well. It's just, you're just walking and then, oh! Oh! But it's, or they're asking and they're reaching. And you just gotta read their intentions. It's like, yeah. First of all, it's an invasion of space. Boundaries are important. But I also see it as a teaching moment, while also acknowledging that it's not my responsibility to always be teaching people how to deal with Black people. That's not my responsibility. Go do some research, right? But even still, why are you touching my hair like that? Like, come on now. Welcome. Oguchi Kaigan no boss. Yokoso. Welcome. Oh, another Brandon joining. So, yeah. Cortez. We got Takuya saying, I keep my head shaved. Is that why? Well, my hair is fairly straight. I'm actually interested, Takuya, if you grew out your hair, would it look Japanese? That would be pretty interesting. Yeah, welcome to the people just joining. We are talking about different types of subcultures in Japan, along with my book, Yokai Shadows, printed on washi paper. Look at the Black guy right there. And look, she's not touching his hair. Oh my god. Not touching his hair. So yeah, if you want to grab this book, BrandonChin.net. Cortez, love you, Brandon, love you all. Gotta get off. Peace. Cortez, I appreciate you for joining. Looking forward to linking up. Love you too. Take care, my friend. I love Bionicles. Appreciate you guys for linking. Yeah. Takuya says, Mata Cortez-san. Yeah, I would love to link you guys up. I think you guys enjoy each other's space. But yeah, on to this Gyaru. I wonder if this subculture in Japan, Gyaru, has anything to do with black culture from America. I don't see anything about black people. Oguchi Kaigan no boss says it suits your hairstyle. I appreciate you. Yeah, I had to shape it up after my girl was here cutting my hair. I shaped it up a bit, and I thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu. あ、そういえばギャルの友達はいます? Do you have any friends that don this specific style? It's a very interesting style here. Let me read some of it and see where it comes from. Gyaru fashion. Gyaru fashion began in the 1990s when rebellious schoolgirls began hiking up their skirts, wearing loose socks and cardigans, and dyeing their hair. They would also tan their skin to step away from traditional Japanese perception of pale skin equating to beauty. This trend set off a fashion subculture that could loosely fit under the umbrella term gyaru. But in reality, it has been evolving constantly since its inception and birthed many splinter styles. あ、いるよって。ああ、そうですね。ギャル、どんな、ギャルの方って、黒人の真似してるんですか? どう思いますか? Takuya says, do you feel more black or Asian? I feel more black. Yeah, I walk through the world as a black person. But, of course, I acknowledge and cannot ignore the fact that I have an Asian influence going on. And, yeah. So it says, you have good balance. What do you mean by good balance, Takuya? More gyaru pictures. What do you think? 大口海岸のボス。ギャルの方って黒人の真似してるんですか? What do you guys think? Does this look like black influence? In the book, he's saying they're basically trying to get away from the traditional beauty qualities in Japan, which is pale white skin. Let's see if I have that map. Like this mask here. Yeah. Let me see what else they say in here. There are no fashion oh, they got, and so even these subcultures, they evolve over time. You can see it says ganguro might be the most recognizable form of gyaru fashion in Japan, but it is in fact one of the later stages in the evolution of this fashion movement. The precursor to ganguro was called kogyaru, which translates roughly to little girl. I don't know, but I think it's a culture unique to these tan girls. そうですね。そうね。We don't know. So I basically asked him, do you think it's actually like a What do you think? It's like, is it connected to Black culture, or is it typical, just like, step back, I don't want to be known as a Japanese woman. And your personality is like a lo-fi black dude. Lo-fi black dude. I appreciate you, Takuya. I appreciate you. But Takuya, tell me about your time in China. I just saw this Buddhist monk here with these tats. Look at these tats. And the first thing I thought about was China. As you can see, this woman is getting tatted with a specific technique called horiren. And let me see if I can find the definition exactly of this, but it's basically she's getting tatted with sticks. Yeah. Horiren. Oh, Horiren is the name of the actual artist. So Horiren is tattooed, or actually let's just read it from the top. So it says, getting inked may seem like an innocuous pastime for many who have grown up in the Western world. But in Japan, it is still a culture burdened with hundreds of years of stigma. Even today, a large proportion of bathhouses and hot springs explicitly deny entrance to anyone with a tattoo. The overwhelming majority of my customers are people on the fringes of society. Prostitutes, runaways, people with ties to organized crime, and so on. For these people, getting irezumi, sorry, that is Japanese tattoos. Irezumi is an indelible statement that says, I am setting myself apart from society. So it always seems like these subcultures are always about pushing yourself away from typical Japanese society. So Takuya says, that's so chill, easy to be around. My time in China was no different from Japan. My friends are a combination of computer programmers and bodybuilders. What a nice mix. So we got Takuya from Instagram talking about his background. Very, very diverse background. Quite mixed. And his friends are a mix of programmers and bodybuilders. I am very curious. People on YouTube, what does your background, or what does your friend group look like? Are they a mix of people that are from certain subcultures like you see in this book, the obsessed? Or are they pretty similar to you? I like to think I'm similar to Takuya. My friend group is a mix of people from different backgrounds. Takuya says, I miss yakiniku to gyoza. Yeah, yakiniku to gyoza. So yakiniku is barbecued meat. Actually, Takuya, can you explain for the people in the chat now and for people that watch it later, why do you enjoy yakiniku, and how is it different than American barbecue? I was about to go in on that, but no. I want to let Takuya explain this. The difference. I think Japanese... No, I'll let Takuya answer. As you can see, we're talking about subcultures in Japan. All these speakers, these lights, people decking out their vans. I've actually never seen this in person. But there's a huge car culture in Japan. I think a lot of people associate with Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. This, however, is more about the visual aspect rather than the actual speed of the cars. As you can see, they're decking out these fans here. Like, look at all these lights and stuff. Amazing! Taka said, I drive motorcycles and do coding in Japan. Yeah, wow. What type of, does your bike look like this? Does your bike have a lot of lights and decorations on it? Also, yakiniku is a social experience. Yes. Torikizoku, yeah. Torikizoku, very, very popular yakiniku place. I haven't been before, but I see it all the time. Yakiniku is a social experience. Yeah. I would also say, I'll push back on that a little bit. I would also say American barbecues, super social experience. For the people watching on YouTube, what do you guys think? Is barbecue, is the function a social experience? Takia says, my friends don't even know Tokyo Drift and they modify cars. So your friends in Japan or America? And he has a Yamaha FC07 motorcycle. I'm curious if they have a motorcycle subculture in this. So I just showed you guys different cars. The car culture in Japan is insane. Oh, there is a bike. Yeah, but it's not for a specific bike culture. Actually, this is Bosozoku, which it's more it's a biker gang, but they're more focused on the game side of things rather than the bike. Although you can see there are a lot of decorations on these bikes here. Like this, yeah? Yeah, Bosozoku. So it's like, I've come to know Bosozoku as a local teeny bopper gang. So of course you got Yakuza. Most people associate Yakuza with like mafia, more organized crime. It's the, I'm gonna speak on this, right? But Bosozoku in my mind is like teenagers, high school dropouts. We're gonna go around and do menial crimes like maybe spray paint buildings. You don't often see that, but maybe steal a little bit of stuff from the convenience store, the supermarket, and ride our bikes around in the middle of the night in the parking lot, making all this noise. That's my image of Bosozoku. But as you can see, it is a subculture in Japan. So Takuya says, it is, but it's both I'm biased. I love soju with grilled meat. Yeah. It's my friends in Japan. I haven't seen Tokyo Drift. Wow. So your friends in Japan have no idea what Tokyo Drift is. And still they modify cars. Isn't that crazy? 俺は山登りが大好き。友達と一緒に。Yeah, so Takuya loves hiking. He loves hiking. I enjoy hiking as well, man. It's, there are so many mountains where I'm at right now. Kyushu, the island of Kyushu. Let's talk about hiking and how refreshing that is. First of all, let's talk about how sedentary people in America are, right? Typically, people in America are very sedentary. It's either, it goes up, it's like extremes. It's 5 days, 6 days a week, going to the gym, pa. Or, welcome, Venice. Hello. I wonder, is this my cousin? Venice Cook, welcome. We're here talking about Japanese art and my book, Yokai Shadows. But yeah. So American, I haven't lived in America in a long time, but when I was there, it's the extremes. People that are hitting the gym every day, workout, ripped, all of that, but they're gym rats. On the opposite side, it's like I just drive, I sit at my desk at work, I go back home and sit and watch TV, and that's it. Obesity, gym rats. Not a lot of people in the middle. Oh, タクロようこそ、ようこそ。今日、タクロさん、どこにいます？最近タコス食べてないので、いつかっていうか、もうそろそろ食べに行きたいと思いますので、今日はどこにいますか？ So this guy, Takuro, not Takuya, who is mixed Nigerian, Japanese, Chinese. Takuro is straight Japanese guy who makes tacos and actually loves Mexico. He has a food truck where he's making tacos. And yeah, it's delicious. He says, はいよ、来なさい。来なさいね。100度なんていう、その漢字はちょっとね、町の名前なんですけど。拓也、読みますか？拓也さん読めますかね？拓郎さん、それは、糸島の近くですか？ So, Venice, welcome. Where are you right now? Are you in Jamaica? My cousin is joining the chat on Instagram. 桃地浜. Yeah, 桃地浜. Very, very close to 糸島. 何時までいますか? So then it says Georgia, Loganville, Georgia. Very nice. Welcome. How is Georgia life? How do you spend your day? I was just speaking about hiking, because Takuya loves hiking. Lots of different places to hike in Kyushu. Let me see if there's a hiking subculture in this book, actually. And that's what I was speaking about. So it's, yeah, very extreme in America. Oh, gym every day, or completely sedentary, obese lifestyle. But in Japan, it's more varied and balanced. You'll find older people hiking, walking every day. Young people everybody's got to walk and go places. So it's very balanced in Japan. And I love hiking. Takuya said, そんな感じは見なかった。そうね。拓郎さん says, 雨びしょびしょなりながらタコズもべしょべしょ。親父ジョークかい! Hey! Yeah, so it's Takuro on Instagram is telling us a dad joke, basically using wordplay to speak about, because he makes tacos near where I live, actually. And he's saying that it's raining very, very hard, but the tacos are also getting wet. His tacos are delicious. Then he said, I live in the outskirts and I decided to start walking around my 5 acres. That is living big. Very nice. Congratulations on the 5 acres. Yeah, that is the type of lifestyle that I'm trying to have, man. Open land, etc. タクロさん、仕事行ってきます。ありがとうございます。参加していただいて。ちょっと、この後インスタをチェックしますので、よろしくお願いします。 Takuya says, I have to train daily. It's just my life. Food portion size different in America and health combination different. I stay naturally lean in Asia. Right. So Takuya, you're a bodybuilder. You have a very, very specific insight on this topic. Takuya, how many meals do you eat? Or let's go. How much protein do you eat every day? Yeah, so welcome to the people watching up until this point. We're here talking about subcultures in Japan. Here's a very weird one. Look at this guy here. Look at this guy. Older guy wearing a little bit of I guess it's high school uniforms. High school uniforms. His name is Grow Hair. And let me see if I can get to the exact face. Grow Hair, aka Kobayashi Hideaki, is 58 at the time of writing, and it was only in the last decade that he began dressing in a schoolgirl uniform. I was always jealous of the cute, frilly things girls could wear, he says. As a child, Kobayashi would swipe the hair accessories of girl classmates and wear them throughout the day, to his teacher's good-natured amusement. Of course, I didn't have the courage to wear girls' clothing myself, except around friends as kind of a joke. The turning point came when a friend told him that a ramen shop was holding a campaign where anyone over 30 who wore a sailor uniform to the shop would get a free bowl of ramen. I thought, at last! I can wear a schoolgirl uniform. I finally have a reason to go outside wearing the uniform. Despite having the excuse ready in case anyone gave him a hard time, not a single person commented on Kobayashi the entire trip. That was when I decided to see how far I could get with this thing. So this guy's wearing a sailor high school uniform, and this is the type of subcultures that are excused in Japan. I don't think you would see this in America. Yeah, you might. Yeah, you would probably be getting called a whole host of different curse words. But for him, it's just like, I'm just a regular old guy who likes dressing up cute, and that's all it took for me to become famous. Yeah. You guys know, I don't gotta say it. But Takuya says 4 meals easily per day. I can eat 20 eggs per day. Oh my god. But your body will get rid of any extra protein. Right. What do you think is the max amount of protein if you're trying to, because I'm trying to put on muscle as well. I'm like 68 kilos right now, but I'm trying to get to 80 kilos. What do you think is the max amount of protein my body can digest if I'm weight training? Tucker says I eat udon and ground beef. Interesting. That's a good mix, man. Yeah, so what do you guys think about this? If you're curious, drop some comments in the chat on grow hair. Is this creepy, or is this just an old man trying to experience cuteness? Speaking of creepy, dun 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 dun. Many subcultures in Japan. Many subcultures in Japan, right? What is this particular subculture called? This is called kurage, which is latex. Latex is usually associated with fetish fashion, but kurage turns it into art. Let me see if they talk a little bit more about the background on this. I can show you some of these. Yeah, like if you think about this, this is usually associated with like kink. But you can see that it's actually more about art here. Is that Takeshi? Takeshi-san, welcome, welcome. Takeshi makes burgers out in Itoshima. Delicious burgers. 今日でも空いてますか？最近一番人気のバーガーは何でしょう？ Yeah, that's more of like, that's more, this, if you saw this in America, you would assume this is straight kink underground fashion. But it's art. And you can see the creator. Alright, here we go. Latex is a medium that can express everything. It can be sexy or cute, gothic or futuristic. It frees me to create my vision. Yeah. So it's just it's a different take on these type of things. So Tucker says, I love food, people. I'll be right back. My friend actually ordered food on my phone. No problem. I thank you for joining so far. Yeah. I think anybody that saw this would be like, alright, that's the underground club. But I think this is quite artistic. That's more artistic, I think. Alright. Let me see what else we got in here. Yeah, we spoke about a lot of different things. We spoke about Bosozoku, all of this. Oh, of course, everybody knows maid cafes. Yeah, maid cafes. Huge subculture in Japan. A lot of people enjoy this. Let me see. Alright, maid cafes emerged in the late 1990s. Late 1990s when cosplay began taking off in popularity. Maid cafes, very, very strange subculture that I have not experienced in Japan. Not very interesting to me, honestly. But seeing an opportunity for promotion, video game companies began operating cafes with waitresses dressed in the costumes of the game characters. Wow. So it was like a marketing stunt at first. Maid cafes are a place where you can be yourself without anyone looking down on you. You always find someone eager to talk to you about your hobbies. What do you guys think? Maid cafes? Just some freaky fetish? Or is it a way for people to express themselves? What do you guys think? Yeah, there's a lot in here. Yeah. Oh, I think we can do one more. So, obviously, everybody knows kawaii, which is often translated to cute, but there's like a huge section just on kawaii. So let me read some of this so we can get to the bottom of what is kawaii. Kawaii may be the most commonly used word in the Japanese language. In Japan, even utilitarian things like manhole covers, road construction barriers, public safety posters are cutified to soften their impact. And it doesn't end at the island nation shores. Outside Japan, the kawaii revolution is ongoing. Our interconnected, globalized society propels the spread of cuteness culture from Hello Kitty to Harajuku fashion, from J-pop to manga and anime. As ubiquitous as kawaii may be today, its origins stretch far back in Japan's cultural history. 1,000 years ago, a gentlewoman in the court of Empress Teishi wrote a classic work of Japanese literature called The Pillow Book. The Pillow Book. The author's poetic musings include a catalog of the various small, brief encounters that pierce the heart with cuteness. From baby birds to small children, dollhouse furniture to tiny lotus leaves. Sei Shonagon's list of cute things captures affinities for diminutive objects and transient moments that imbue Japanese art and culture to this day. Alright, that's a lot of word salad, but it's basically saying that this concept of cuteness has existed for a long time in Japan and has come to basically represent Japan abroad. Yeah, lots of different concepts. You can see, obviously, the Hello Kitty is a huge cuteness representative, as well as Sailor Moon. I used to watch this. Yeah, I'm not embarrassed. Sailor Moon, huge anime back in the day. And then the main whole covers that they were talking about. As you can see, kawaii is very wide ranging. But what do you guys think about cuteness, about kawaii? Is it something that you actually find cute, or is it a little bit strange and weird? But yeah, that is The Obsessed book about subcultures in Japan. Very interesting. Erwin Wong. But the publisher is a German company, as you can see in that bottom corner. Alright, let's talk about Yokai Shadows. Not very kawaii or cute. No, I prefer to deal with the traditional crafts. You know? This is printed on washi paper, made straight from trees. But let me see if I can connect this to any subculture that we just spoke about. Nope. There are no subcultures that we just spoke about that have anything to do with this. Yeah. That's why it's quite different. This, perfect. I have two books that you can see put side to side like this. Actually, we can talk about this on the next call. But this is also a book written by Erwin Wong and produced by the same publisher. You can tell I like big books, man. But this, all about traditional crafts, traditional art, completely different than the subcultures you see here. A lot of these are modern style, traditional, modern, traditional. And so I tend to lean more towards this, the traditional stuff. You know, it just has more, but you can tell, more history, more juice, more information about how Japanese people actually think. Not to say that The Obsessed is not also how they think, but this is like origin, right? We'll talk about this on the next call though, because there's a lot to go over in this. But washi paper, very nice and soft, durable, but still soft to the touch. Alright, Yokai Shadows. What is this book about? This is a fantasy book, fantasy romance. My editor actually said that it's also part of the modern folklore genre. Yeah, the editor works in traditional publishing, so he said it could fit neatly into modern folklore. This book is about basically keeping traditions alive, but also the fight between nature and human creativity, battling it out. Which one will win? That is what this story is about. The people represent the creativity, obviously, and you see the two different types of masks here. that is a yokai that represents nature, battling it out with human creativity. She thinks human creativity is basically destroying nature, and it is her responsibility, that is the yokai, her responsibility to keep nature alive and protected. Whereas these two main characters here, we got Yuki, Japanese, and Kwame from Ghana, basically very heavily involved with Japanese traditional crafts. They represent human creativity. Of course, nature is important. Without nature, the Japanese traditional crafts would not be able to be made, like this washi paper. But they also see that human creativity is vital to making the world livable for people. And so it's a battle of two different philosophies. Natural world takes precedent. Human creativity is important. Which one will win? Fantasy romance, my first fantasy romance. At first, this was how the book actually looked. And it was actually called Shokunin Heart, but I'm like, nobody knows anything about Shokunin. So I changed the title. And I try to keep it romantic with heart in the title. But, I figured Yokai Shadows is a little bit more... first, yokai, people are more aware of yokai than shokunin. Shokunin just means artisan in Japanese. And shadows, a word often used in the fantasy genre. So that's how you do research. What are people actually, that's how you title your books based on research. What are people used to? I still think even yokai might be a little bit obscure. And so I might have to add another word or, change it up. But for now, this is what it is. If you want this fantasy romance book, quite short, could be read in one sitting. That's how I write my books, so that you consume it immediately, get it inside, get the thoughts swirling. BrandonShin.net. Pop! You can order direct from the website. Fantasy romance. Very, very popular genre right now. And I'm gonna expand on this series. As you can see, this was the title before, Shokunin Heart. I basically thought, alright, let's just name that the series. A Shokunin Heart novel. And so I'm going to continue writing in this series to see how far we can take the story. Although it's quite easy for me to jump from novel to novel, story to story, idea to idea, character to character. Also good to focus on one story and truly, truly flesh it out until I get it as thick as this book. Look at this. Look how thick this novel. This is not a novel actually, but let me see actually. Oh, it's not even that bad. It's like, it's about 300 pages. 300 pages. Let's see an actual novel that is massive. Another fantasy book, African fantasy book, written by a Jamaican author, my favorite author, Marlon James. This book is amazing, and it's big. Let me show you. 620 pages. That's what I'm trying to get to. 620. Especially when you speak about fantasy. You need a lot of space to flesh things out. Look at this. Right? I love this book. Love this series. Let me see if I got the Yeah, I got the sequel here as well. Oi! Right here. Harlan James, Moon Witch, Spider King. Then it says, what was the title? My internet went off. This or my book? My book is Yokai Shadows. And this is my favorite author, Jamaican Black Leopard Red Wolf. Check it out on Amazon. This is the sequel, Moon Witch Spider King. Also very, very thick. Oh yeah, wow, he beat out the first one. This is 626. 626 pages. That's insanity. Look at this. And you can see, let's see the difference here. Yokai Shadows. Whew. Not even like, yeah, you gotta, I'm gonna continue writing in this series and then basically put all the books together until I get to this level. It's gonna take some time. But amazing, amazing. It's a trilogy, so there's another one coming out. And the cool thing about this series is that it's the same story, but told from different perspectives. So first one focuses on these two characters, Leopard and Wolf. The second one focuses on the witch, the Moon Witch. But they're in the same situation, told from different perspective. Of course, they visit different locations, have different experiences with different characters, but same story, different perspectives. Very, very interesting and innovative writing style. Highly, highly recommend that author's books. Amazing. But yes, Yokai Shadows, Shokunin Heart. And the most recent Kickstarter that I ran for this book will have art inside, just like this one does. This is just a sample, actually. It's not an actual book. Just a sample. I wanted to see how it looked and felt, and so I printed it up with different iterations of the cover. As you can see, this is what it looks like to experiment with the art as you're going along. You can see how the different images evolve over time. I think this one's the most interesting. This is the kappa, which is actually a river demon that looks nothing like a human woman. But she takes on the face of a human that looks like a geisha so that she can navigate and move through the human world. At first, she starts out empty-handed. I was like, no, I don't want her to be old. Make her hair black. Alright, let's keep some of the elements of her river demon life with the hands. And alright, let's make her carry something. What is that, an egg? Alright, admit, the egg looks kind of creepy, but make it look like something is sprouting from it. And then that's what I ended up with. But again, sorry, I said a burp. If you are writing fantasy, or let's say, if you're reading fantasy, a lot of the cover, if you're reading a fantasy romance book, this doesn't say anything about romance. Maybe a little bit of fantasy, but no romance. Which is why I went with a couple on the cover. This one is actually more popular with people. Yeah, that looks like a romance novel. But with this masked beast in the back, which is actually the same person here, she just has a mask on and transforms her appearance. The inclusion of this person, or this yokai, makes it a fantasy. So it's a mix. Romance, fantasy, fantasy, romance, fantasy, romance, romantasy. Yokai Shadows, that's what it is. Yokai Shadows. If you want it, grab it. BrandonChin.net. And I look forward to expanding on this book, making it thick, like Marlon James, my guy. All right, a couple more people joining on Instagram. Just as I'm about to sign off, I appreciate you guys for joining. I'm trying to keep these lives to about an hour and just stay consistent. Maybe over time I'll get to 2, 3, 4 hours, but for now, 1 hour. If you stayed until the end, I appreciate you guys for watching. Take care and hit BrandonChin.net if you want any of the stuff I talked about. See you on the next live. Take care. Enjoy your day. Joy. And on Instagram. Yuri.